Hello and welcome to Out of Spec Scootz. Here to do a bit of testing on our cheap e-bikes. We've got 3 of them, one from Amazon, one from Temu, one from Walmart. We're all around $200. All very similar models, slightly different in the motors and the power and the batteries. Check out the range test that we did. They all performed quite well on the range test. Looking at even the style of the motor, this one's the only one with a larger full filling of the wheel. These are little 14-inch wheels. They are folding e-bikes, so they fold here. This one doesn't fold in the main tube. This one folds back here. This one folds up here. All slightly different controls. Today we've got them all charged up. Gonna see if any of them can make it up this extreme hill here we have here. It's quite a bit of an incline, and not many things would be able to just make it up. You'd have trouble just on a bicycle from a stop standing start. But insert clip here of something that can do it is the Ego mini bike. Well, here at the extreme hill climb challenge hill, just to prove that something can do it from a dead stop and a standing start, this is about 4.5 kilowatts. So plenty of power to this Ego mini bike unit. And going from completely not moving, giving it throttle, it climbs right up it. So the extreme hill climb test, there are electric things out there that can get up this. Let's see if the cheap e-bikes even stand a chance. We're going to try each one, kind of keep them in order of the unboxing and range test. Check out each of the unboxings of these. We're gonna do 3 different types of tests here at the hill. Dead stop standing. Can it go from a dead stop up the hill, which the Ego mini bike can. So we proved that something with some wattage can do this. Then going to pedal, give it some pedal assist, see if with human power am I able to get up this hill. And then finally, brute force of inertia. Can I get some speed, run into it full speed, and will it make it up? So this is the contender, the BroPath A6. I bought it on Walmart.com. Didn't go to the Walmart store and pick it up, but we're calling this the Walmart contender. So dead stop, full throttle, on a full charge. Oh, a whole lot of nothing. That's a fail. Okay. Give it even a second test. It's exact same result. So, oh, it detects some pedal assist when I was going backwards there. Let's see how it does with me pedaling. Just not enough grip, not enough to get up there. So, double fail on this one. Now, gonna get some speed and see if with inertia that it'll make it up there. Go around the side. This one's quite slow to accelerate. We're gonna do some acceleration tests here shortly as well. Full speed into it. Barely making it up, but made it up without pedal assist. On the descent, nice to have front and rear brakes. Okay, and can't even make it out of the ditch. So, quite weak on the power with this 500 watt rated motor. It seems more like a 350 that is, they'll do a peak rating for some things, so maybe it's got a peak rating of 500. Definitely didn't seem like too much peak there. Next contender is the one that found on Amazon, the only one that costs shipping. Seems like a lot of these Amazon bikes are real cheap, but the shipping costs a whole bunch. So actually the Walmart one was $10 shipping. So again, they all came in right around $200. This one was like $240. It's got the thumb throttle, which is quite uncomfortable. I prefer a good twist throttle to it, but let's see how it does at the static start hill climb test. much more torque to it. And, oh wow, made it quite a few more feet. I would say a full bike length of more feet up the hill. Test number 2, just as a comparison, right around the same, and stalls out. Motor's still trying, but it's at full stall mode. And now we'll give it some pedal assist. Okay, so with pedal assist, I was able to make it up there. So the Wurhi failed the static test and made it up with pedal, and it can make it out of the ditch. So quite a bit more torque to it, accelerates even on the grass. We'll give it the inertia test. Definitely more acceleration, but only having one rear brake mostly sucks. Thumb throttle mostly sucks. But coming in with some decent speed, it makes it up no problem. It's that speed that helps. Sketchy going down the hill. And on to the next one. The final contender is what we got from Temu. I ordered all 3 on the same day. These first 2, the Walmart and the Amazon, arrived on the same day. The Temu was lacking about 5 days late. This one's got a very similar setup to the first one, the Bropath A6. There was no actual brand that I was able to find with this, but it had a cute squirrel on the box. So I'm calling it the Squirrel brand. T1 is the model. Only one that came with a basket and actual suspension. A key for throttle. Let's see how it does with the static test. Kind of in the middle of the road, in between the other 2. About halfway between the Bropath and the Wurhi, a little less that time. So, failure on the static test. Let's see how it does with some pedal assist. Oh, barely making it. So, that, and I'm still full throttle, and it was not helping at all at the top. Dual brakes for the descent, and it made it out of the ditch. Let's give it the inertia test. Nice, comfortable ride. Little tiny wonky tires. Feels very different from riding an actual bicycle with real wheels. But having phone charging in a basket, man. All right, coming in with some speed. No problem. Keeping the inertia going, cranks its way on up. So, those are 3 bikes that all failed the static test. 2 out of 3 cheap e-bikes were able to do the pedal test. Well, not all that disappointed at the extreme hill climb challenge test for the cheap e-bikes. At $200, don't know what I really expected. At least they all kind of, with inertia, ram themselves up there. Let's go and see if they can make it up a gravel trail. Nearby, I was able to find something that's about a 5% grade. All Trail says it goes to about 8% at the max. We'll see if I can get them all folded up and into my Model S and do a little testing out in the real world. I'm trying to get all 3 of these into my Model S. There's an area that almost the only hill around that I've found. It's an incredibly flat area out here in North Carolina. There's a dam and a trail. I think it's a gravel trail, but it's an adequate mid hill climb test. So let's see how each of them folds down and gets into this Model S. I think I can fit all 3 in here. And fold the handlebars down. Undo the seat. Oh, the seat takes a little extra because it has this bolt in it. And of course, drop the bolt. When it's all the way down, nowhere to really put the bolt. So we'll stash that in there for hopefully finding later. And then just one bit there. And that's about as compact as the Wurhi gets. You can undo the handlebars, but let's get that thrown in. hit my head on the lift gate, of course. Put the kickstand up. And there's the Wurhee in. All right, on to the next one. We've got the Walmart Pro Path A6 with a pretty crappy seat. Pretty crappy seat mount design. Fold the bars down. Undo the mid fold. And this was a pretty stiff joint. Yeah, it's definitely open. Oh. Maybe it needs the old kick. Well, it is pretty locked in there. Well, you gotta pull that up. I get it. Just out here kicking things. It's still a very stiff joint. Get the pedals to a certain point. That's the foldingness of that guy. A little bit of a handle back here, which is nice. And I think that's gonna have to lay down like that. I've opened up the rear area for the third one. This one didn't come with a brand. It came with a squirrel on the box, so I'm gonna call this the Squirrel T1. We're gonna undo the basket. Just no matter how stupid the basket looks, the basket is awesome. Like even coming over here, I was wearing the helmet for riding, and I wanted to take my hat with, and I was able to take the hat, just throw it in the basket. And then this one folds in the middle. We'll bring the handlebars down first. And with the lock there, I can't re-lock it that way. But I can lock it that way. Drop the seat. And undo the center pivot before we kick anything this time. Let's see. Yeah, just give it some kicks. There we go. This one actually compacts down pretty well. Has this odd handle, but let's see how well it goes in the rear area here. Get that turned like that, and I think that is 3 cheap e-bikes in the Model S. Excellent. Let's continue on with the hill climb test. Here at the Roanoke Canal Trail, got the Wurhee is the easiest one to pull out. It was in the rear seats, so I was able to get that out through the driver's side rear door. Easiest one to fold up and put together. Handlebars just come up like that. That locks in. Supposedly there's a bit of a hill here, according to all trails. I think I might just leave the seat down, and it's ready to go already. So let's see what we can find. This one's a little bit loosey-goosey on the handlebar area. All right, got it turned on. Let's see if we can find this hill. Pretty cool sculpture here. Nice trail area by the Roanoke Lake Dam. It absolutely sucks not having a brake on the throttle side. A little touchy on the throttle with the thumb throttle. Not sure if bikes are allowed here, but I'm wearing a helmet and didn't see any signs that say no bikes. Pretty steep trail here. Decent for a test. The Wurhi has the best acceleration to it, the most torque. So I think this one's going to fare the best. It's a decent grade going up there. We'll go full throttle. Oh, yep. It takes off, powering up the gravel surface. All under its own power. Making it up the hill. A decent mound in front of us. Got over that, and yeah, now picking up speed afterward. It's got some torque. Well, this is definitely a decent grade. And it is powering up this no problem. Getting up here. Well, it might not look it on camera, but this is a pretty significant hill. And the Wurhi is eating it up. Well, successful test from the Wurhi. It did its job powering up this hill. Very decent. I'm impressed. But on to the other ones. All right, we're gonna unfold the squirrel Temu mobile. Main frame unfolded, locked in. That goes over that, and that holds it in. Get the pedal straightened out. Get the seat raised up a little bit, and handlebars up a little bit. Not forget the basket. The basket is pivotal. That just hooks underneath here. And then some Velcro to hold it in. Let's see how the T1 does. All right, the dual brake, dual suspension T1. Similar starting area. And we'll just give it full throttle. It barely starts off, but starts going. It is doing the hill. Starting from a dead stop, it moves. Struggling, but it moves. Not as fast as the Wurhi, but it is still chugging up this hill, doing its job. Not too bad. Slow, but it's doing it. The T1 doesn't seem too happy about this, but it is slowly chugging up. Pretty extreme hill. Oh, coming up to the mound on the T1, and it made it over. And picking up speed afterwards. It's doing all right at chugging up this hill. So far, both the Wurhi and the T1 are doing their job cruising up a hill. Still have a good amount of incline here. And it is doing it. Basket's shaking everywhere. But man, that basket's fun to have. Looks super dumb, but it's cool. It's cool at the same time. All right, lastly, we've got the bro path all folded up. Very stiff hinge. And it's got that detent there to get over. Put that up. Get the handlebars up a little bit. And the seat. And we're unfolded, and it is just marring that seat up like crazy. Let's see how this thing does up the hill. Last in the hill climb gravel Roanoke Rapids canal test is the Bropath A6. Real sketchy riding down here holding a tripod in my left hand because it came with the front brake on the right, but didn't wipe out. Made it. Let's see if it can get going from a dead stop. Barely, but okay. Picking up speed. Well, it's doing it. Slow but steady. It is struggling. Got to a mount here. Well, made it over that, barely. Well, come on, Bropath. Keep Bropathing. Bropath it up. Oh, we are getting bogged down there. Barely able to keep going. Say Bropath is third place. Just crawling up the hill, getting to the mound. Almost stopped. Yeah, it did it. Picking up speed afterwards like the other ones. I would say the winner of the challenge was the Wurhee, and then the Squirrel T1, and then the Bropath A6, third place. They all were able to make it up that hill, though. I'm impressed. Impressed for $200 that these little 350 watt / 500 watt peak motors. I think the Wurhee is a true 500 watt. That's what it seems like. Definitely the power delivery is quite different. But they all made it up this gravel test up a hill at the Roanoke Rapids Lake Dam Trail. Nice trail, nice people. Great day. Well, pretty interesting that all three of them were able to crawl themselves up that gravel trail. I don't think that they really succeeded. Your range would be severely diminished. So, at the price point, what do you expect? Still no real issues with them. Let's, on another video, tear them down and see what the build quality is of the batteries and just how well they're made. And then also, I think Scott, Kyle, and I were going to go out, take them out to the Outer Banks and do some real-world tootling around and try to have some fun on them. Thank you so much for watching Out of Spec Scootz. We appreciate you watching. You have a great day.